I feel like it starts up before it actually starts. There it goes. Hey everybody, Zach Martin here. Kids Deserve Dads. We're like 13 days from Christmas. Sebastian, what do you know about that? 13 days?
Uh, what do you
We're
mean?
13 days away from Christmas. We're 13 days from Christmas. Come on here today. Just want to talk to you guys about kind of the mission of Kids Deserve Dads, my history and things. And my friend Jesse Goodwin was on the program a couple weeks ago or so, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I had a really great conversation. And after that, we've been talking more about doing it again, and we were going to definitely do another one. But in that conversation, his stepson said that, Sebastian, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, he said he wanted to do an interview, and I've been talking about describing what it is that I got into this movement and kind of how I got going and got started. And Sebastian said that he wanted to interview me and to talk about why I'm here now and what I'm intending to do in the future. And I thought, what a good opportunity to hang out with a fine young man who's stepped into his own. And I think one of my best friends' lives. And I know my friend's been blessed, and I think that Sebastian will say that he's been blessed also.
Definitely.
Definitely. And I've been blessed by having them. So I'm excited about this time. I don't know how it's going to look like and what we're going to do. I'm just going to hang out and turn it over to Sebastian, and welcome.
Right. So I wanted to ask you questions about how I'm essentially trying to gain knowledge about your experience and, a lot of other people's experience on how they got their careers started and what seems to be successful and what seems to not be. So, well, my first question is going to be, when did you start building your first business?
Gosh, my first business, I was probably 25. And I was a realtor, so I was an independent contractor, and that was my first business. I had worked for quite a few other people before then, with limited success and a lot of work and not as much glory. And I knew that I could do more. And actually, how I got started into it, my mom really wanted to go look at houses, and she wanted to have somebody look at houses with her. And so I graduated college. I was going to sell pharmaceuticals. That was my dream job, to be a pharmaceutical drug rep. And I had some sales success, and then had a sales job that was awful. And I was going to give up on it. And my mom was like, "Hey, don't give up on it. You should go be a realtor, and then I can go look at houses." So we took the class together, and it was a lot of fun to spend my time with my mom. And we studied a little bit and stuff. And she ended up not passing the test, and I did, and she just never took it again. But she got me into it, and so I started doing that, and I had a really great time running that business, and I learned a lot. And then it actually gave me the opportunity to go sell pharmaceuticals. So I got to live both dreams.
That's really interesting. Well, that kind of brings me to my next question. Well, did someone help you build that business? And if so, what did they do to help you?
Yeah, my parents were instrumental in my business and in a lot of things I've done in my life. They've been there to support me, guide me, and run along with me through a lot of my journey. And my mom loved looking at real estate, and she wanted to do real estate projects and stuff, and they always never really had any money. But when I graduated college and my brother graduated college, they started to have more money to do more things that they wanted. And so we started buying up rental homes. And so we built a little a mini empire of rental homes, and I managed them and rehabbed them. It led into a construction company, and I had a management company, and a whole bunch of different aspects, businesses that were associated. Every single property had its own LLC, and it was organized really well with different checking accounts and everything. It was really a fun exercise in playing games and stuff. And my parents were there the whole time, and they supported me, and we would go meet with accountants and go meet with lawyers and get things organized, so that way all of our stuff was put together the right way. And then I got to run this business. I got to build it up, and I think it's not like it's a huge business or anything like that, but it's like 40 buildings and quite a few units, and they're doing really good. And we did that all really quickly after I ended up getting my license before the crash of 2008.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, so that really, your parents really kind of pushed you into that direction, right?
Oh, you could say they pushed me. I think that they knew where my passion was at, right? The things I was trying to accomplish. Yeah. And so and I had a desire to be in that, and they saw that maybe it was waning and that I could be good at it. And so they supported me in guiding me towards finding another direction that maybe
Right.
I hadn't thought of. And I had never thought about being a realtor. I was 25 years old. I didn't have a house, and the jobs I had were not career jobs that were going to get me anything substantial for a mortgage or anything along those lines. So transitioning and owning my own business really helped me grow up into managing my books and my money and marketing and everything else. And I learned a lot, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Nothing was perfect, but I always had their support. And we like built this thing together. And so it was really a good time to just really connect with my family. And a lot of people have their family until they're 18, and then their parents are kind of holiday people. A few phone calls here and there, but they're not really close. And been blessed to have my parents be there and support me through that the whole entire time, and every venture I've gone through.
That's good. That's really important. Well, so you could say that your passion for real estate, that is what helped you build that business, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got into it because I wanted to get more sales experience to go and sell pharmaceuticals, and so I just saw it as honestly as a means to an end of what I was trying to accomplish when I signed up for it. It was more about getting a sales job that I could get behind and get committed to, and really enjoy and make good money, and then prepare myself to go into another drug rep interview. I've had like 3 or 4 at that point in time.
Right.
That was going to set me up to be successful. So I was looking for that next edge. What's that next thing? And so this was it. And it managed to go along with what my mom wanted me to do because it served her purpose also of going and seeing houses. And so we got to kill both birds, and we did it together. That's a really great thing to have, that family connection on why we started that, and what it's led to now, and means so much for our family.
Right.
Every day we're blessed. So,
yeah. Well, how did you, I guess, build the image that, like the, how did you build the image of your business?
That business was just Zac sells Cheyenne. It was I just ran a real estate business through another office, and so I was a sales agent. So I managed my own marketing, and I managed my own time. But I think I saw a vision for my life of where I was going with this and why it was important. And so with that vision that I had for my life and for this work that I was doing, I just kept looking at what I needed to do next to put myself in the spot to be more successful, to do more. And so, I was learning from everybody else that was in the business in my town, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and learning from them on how they've been successful, and following around the really successful agents, doing things for them, supporting them, and running their business when they want to go out of town on vacations, and making sure that all their things were taken care of, so they had nothing to worry about. That I was going to be there, and I was going to do whatever they needed. They called me on the phone. I'm gonna jump and say how high, whatever, and go get it done, so that way they can enjoy their trip, and I could spend more time learning. And so I had some really great mentors because of that, that desire and that work ethic. And I showed up every day, ready to go, and was committed to making it happen. And that showed.
Right. I can totally
Did I
understand.
answer that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, So once you started, you had that vision, you had that image of what you wanted your business to be. What helped it? What helped it to get the most traction
Mm.
and really take off?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I really think it's been the same for all my businesses and most of the things that I've gotten into. And I think it's something that I learned from a young age about being committed and focused, and then looking for what's the right thing to do in the next moment to get the results I want to have. Whether that's going from, a lot of times when I was young, playing sports, I played every sport up and through high school, and being, in that experience, you learned about uh, being two steps ahead, knowing what's going on and what's happening in the play or in the game, so you're ready for what's going to happen next, and you're focused on what you're going to do, how you're going to perform in this next moment. Like, if this happens, this is what I do. If this happens, this is what I do. And so then going through the business stuff, that work ethic, that inward looking ability that I had already ingrained in myself from those years of commitment to my skills and my crafts. I played sports through college. Um, that commitment level and that focus on how do I get myself to that next spot that I need to be at so I can keep getting where I need to go further, helped me when I started the business of, okay, here's where people are getting success from. Here's what I'm learning about doing this business, and then going out there and finding those pieces and putting the pieces together of, like, I had 4 or 5 mortgage lenders that would give me people all the time. And that was important. So I nurtured relationships with the people who could help me out and who I enjoyed being with in the business. And so we would spend time together. We would go and do things together, and it would help me be a better agent, and it would give me connections with people who could help me do a better job for my clients. And also, because they knew how hard I worked and what I was doing, they gave me clients, and then I maintained those people, and I built a network of my business out of the people that I had served.
Right. Yeah, I understand that. Um,
Yeah.
well, what were some of the struggles that you had to overcome to get your business to where it is?
Well, that business, that was just the first start. I haven't even gotten into my second path of real
Right.
estate, but I got into real estate again a second time. Uh, you know, the struggles I had in that time, being new, not knowing what I was doing, I definitely made a lot of mistakes. I was young, and so I was out having probably too much of a good time when I would make those $5,000, $10,000 checks, and I wasn't as focused as I really could have been. I was good. I think there was a Shaq had an interview a few months ago, a year ago, maybe something like that, where he reflected on his career. Um, and he was like, "I was great, right? I'm one of the greatest." And if I had worked as hard as some of these guys that I see working hard right now and put in that kind of work ethic, how much greater could I be? And it really struck me when he said that kind of stuff. And at that point in time, especially in my life, um, a lot of it was based on uh, just skill, and I was going as hard as I possibly could all the time. So
Right.
work ethic.
Okay. Um, well, what mistakes did you learn the most from?
Well, of all the jobs, I would say the work ethic thing is probably the mistake that I've had. I think a lot of times, in a few times in my life that I've had, some things that have really held me back is getting hurt in relationships, and being too vested, and staying out of my purpose and letting that be a bigger focal point, and being a distractor from really getting the things that I want to get out of my life. Uh,
Right.
and I think being focused on what you want to have and committing to doing the things that it takes to have what you want for yourself, and that a person who wants to be in a relationship with you will be comfortable being there to support and assist and do the things that you need them to do so you can get the job done that you want to get done and live that purposeful, driven life. And I think for men, especially, having that purpose and having that support unit on the backside is a gigantic thing.
Okay. Well, when, how long did it take for your, well, I know we're still only talking about your first business. Um, how long did it take for it to get off the ground, like be a reality, become tangible?
It 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 happened almost immediately. I would say within a few weeks to a month or so. It was an opportunity that came up that I had a chance to step into, and I saw potential for getting me to the goal that I had. And it's been the same thing through all of my businesses. Um, when I when I started Platinum Real Estate, I was working for another company, and I was having great success, but they were taking a large chunk of the commissions. And with how much I was making, I was like, well, I can cover all the costs that I'm paying you guys for
Right.
by myself. And I have a couple of friends that will come with me. I'll just start my own company and have these guys come with me, and we'll do it again. Um, and I asked for more money, and they said no. And within 2.5 weeks, I had closed the business that I had closed, started my new company, and was gone. When I started Kids Deserve Dads, I started that. I really kind of thought about it like at the very beginning of end of October, around Halloween time, and the official start date of Kids Deserve Dads' its filing was November 18th. So 3 weeks from when I really got the vision that this was something that I might want to do, and I really solidified that the next week in San Diego at a great event called Heart. It was amazing, and I built Kids Deserve Dads while I was there, and within a week and a half, 10 days, I had it all complete at that place.
So you mean October of this year?
No, 2017. So my inspiration for doing that was my son and my relationship with my son. And I had a great career. I had 14 agents working for me. I think I had 16 at the height, but I had 14 agents working for me. I had just opened my own brick and mortar office right by a great little park downtown when they did a parade and stuff for our big Frontier Days. Anybody from Wyoming knows, shout out the Frontier Days. That the parade starts right there at my office. It was a great spot. It was really setting us up. I redid the whole entire thing because it was old, and I put in what was going to be my office in the basement, and it never turned into my office. I turned a utility closet into a baby room, and I had like stuff mounted for having TVs on the side and stuff. Like eventually I'd be able to put a TV in there for him to play games and stuff. And I had this vision of that my son was going to grow up in this office, and that I was going to have this office right here, and that he would sit in the next cubby door right next to me. I did end up giving it. His mom worked for me. I ended up giving it to his mom for about 8 months or so. Even after we broke up, until she left, but left working for the office. We had broken up way before she left working for my office. But that I had done all these things to set myself up for having my son be an integral part in my experience, and that I was going to be there with him every step of the way.
Right. I understand that.
Yeah. And it's continued. I went to law school, wrote some laws in Wyoming, and I went to law school. And when I wrote those laws, got beat up by a bunch of lawyers, and I knew that the tactics that we had needed to be tweaked, and I needed some time. I needed a breath because I was running way more than I possibly could, and it was stressful. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do real battle to take this stuff on, I need to be more educated and better prepared to handle this. And so I chose to go into law school. And that's another, very similar story where I made a commitment to doing it. I saw that it was going to move me forward and what I wanted to, was committed to and wanted to do. And I know there was a big need for it. And so I stepped into law school, and I went down there and met with the law school in end of February of 2019. And I was a law student in August. So 4 months, 5 months maybe from when I had the idea to when it became reality. And I saw the vision, I saw what was possible, and I just committed myself during that time to stepping into it, doing all the tests, filling all the paperwork. Lawyers, as you will learn in your life, and you've probably seen a bunch of things like you buy video games, right? And they have all these instruction manuals with like disclaimers in there and warranties and all that kind of fun stuff. That's lawyers.
Yeah.
When you got to accept everything and you got to do it like 10 times, right? And every month you got to redo it again.
Yeah. I actually at one point wanted to like go into being a lawyer, and I looked into a lot of laws and a lot of the way a courtroom would go, I guess, and how I didn't really look into like what the bar is, but I did look into a good bit of it. And
what kind of law would you do? What kind of law got you excited about it?
I didn't look into any specific type of law. I just, knew that I was like, I wanted to. It interested me, and that was something I wanted to go to college for.
Yeah, awesome. Is it still one of the things you want to do? Possibly, is it on your list?
Not anymore.
Oh yeah, what's on your list now?
Well, I wanted to. I've actually been for the past half school year. I've been working on like welding and stuff in school, and I've found a knack for it. I'm kind of really good at it, and I want to build my business as a welder eventually.
Okay.
And so honestly, that's one of the reasons I'm going around and asking people for, what their experiences were as a successful career. Is I want to learn how to build a successful career, and that's what I hope to do.
Honestly, the most important thing is to find something that you can be passionate about, that you can get some purpose, through making a difference, whatever it is. Welding makes huge differences in so many things. I mean, basically our whole world runs on people welding stuff, right?
Right. I mean, there's types, buildings, scaffoldings, construction.
Yeah. Oil welding and all. I mean, there's so many avenues to get into with that, and it's a great business to get into. I think one of the problems we have is this idea that you have to go to college to be successful. You have to keep going to school. That you just keep going to school until you get to the very end, right? And then you're gonna make money. But I think getting out there and getting a skill like that is so valuable. And if you're already getting good at it and stuff, it's something you could probably do small projects with and stuff. I recommend all the time to people that have kids, getting them out there and getting them. I'm gonna do it with my son, getting them out there and getting them doing a yard business, helping them start it, make some flyers up, have them go knock on doors. So you learn so many skills by doing that stuff. You're gonna go and get started. You're gonna make some money. You're gonna learn how to do some balancing and get some checking accounts. You have to give invoices and get payments, and it's gonna teach you good skills. And you get to do sales, so you'll get to learn the whole aspect. Yeah, that excites you.
Well, no, that's actually one of the things we did over my fall break. We, drew up a list of under names and numbers and addresses and whatever. And I went knocking on doors. We walked like, I don't know how far. We walked around a big loop and just went knocking on doors, asking if I can mow lawns, rake leaves, stuff like that. And I didn't get very many jobs, but it still got me the experience, and I feel like that's important.
That it's practicing, right? You're working on learning to do the right things so you can make it happen.
Right.
And you had no jobs before that, so you were a success because you went from 0 jobs to however many jobs you did in the fall. You got all those ones, and you got to practice what it means to be a business owner, right?
Right.
Yeah. So are you going to continue that business?
I don't. I mean, I might do it here and there every now and then, but I don't think I'm that's not really my avenue. And I mean, I like doing it. It's not a problem. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right.
But
I mean, hey, you're young. You don't have to do anything. So that
right,
that gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility. And just to already have done it makes a big difference.
right,
It'll help you out to know um, that you have what it takes to at least get started doing it, and
right,
that you can make some money, right? Even if you're older and you're like, I'm broke, I need some cash. I can go start a little business and I can get 4 or 5 lawn mowing jobs, and I could, you know, pay for what I need to pay for, um, and you have the skills already to do that. So
right.
that's valuable knowledge. I'm glad you got that. So
What did you realize works? What indicated to you that your business or businesses indicated that they were a success, that they were working well?
hmm, I think most businesses are judged on how much money they make and growth, things on those lines. And I think I judged my businesses on that, but the more important thing was like satisfaction and building something. I think one of the reasons why I love real estate so much is that it's all tangible, right? You can see everything that you're building and doing. The money that you're investing is like right there in front of your face. You might be there, and I did lots of times. You know, I'm slinging the mud. I'm playing with the heater, the space heater in the room to put mud on the walls in the wintertime, trying to get it done so we can get the heat turned on, things along those lines. And I did all that kind of work, and it was a ton of fun to do that, and to know that I'm capable of doing any and everything that I want, um, and then uh, getting support so I can have help doing them so we can do them better and faster, and uh, and get more. But I think the most important thing for me was really the satisfaction of doing good and making a difference. In real estate, which was my longest career so far, um, it was the largest purchase that everybody makes. People buy a house, maybe a couple houses in a lifetime for the most part, and that's it. And so I helped out, hundreds of people make those critical choices for themselves and their families, and the growth that they would have in their families and the memories that they would have were, the houses that they purchased and the places that they lived were integral in making those memories and those things happen. And so I got to be a major part of huge decisions in families' lives, and I made some amazing friends and colleagues because of that commitment. And I took pride in knowing that I was helping people do a challenging thing and a very rewarding thing for their lives. And it was a huge step. And to be trusted in that spot with somebody that um, probably had no or little experience and significantly less than I had was an awesome opportunity to really develop myself as a leader, and also really as a supporter of that. Hey, you're making a good choice. How we help you find the information and the answers, so in your heart that you're doing all the right things for yourself right now and making the right choice. And
Right.
so that was probably the most impactful part, was knowing that I was making a huge difference and supporting families. So
Right. Um, well, how did running and, making these businesses, both of them, KDD and being a realtor, how did they change your life for the better or for the worse? I would hope for
oh, I
better.
mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think any of them have done wrong for me. I've been successful at all of them and different levels and stuff. And KDD has gone through some transitions, some changes, and we have some new things coming up right now that are really going to help drive us into making revenue and providing more of a service for the community. And it's just going to accentuate the activities and the experiences that we provide also. So I think it's really coming together in a great vision that's going to move families and dads and kids relationships further faster. So I didn't answer your question though. I want to say it one more time.
How did making these businesses and running them, how did they change your life?
They changed my life in different ways. I think everyone was a different point in time in my life, and that every one of them taught me lessons, and I got to experience different things that I needed to level myself up, so I could then go on and handle that next level that I was getting into. You know, I wouldn't have gotten into law school. No one said I was the smartest kid in any class. Maybe when I was younger, but you know, I was always above average, and I could do it without trying very hard. And so I didn't try very hard. I just, you know, I was more focused on doing the other physical activity things that I really enjoyed. And I got through college, and my impression of it was, especially when I wasn't going to go to law school, I wasn't going to be a doctor. I just needed to get a degree, go out there and get a job. And so I kind of went through it with that kind of mind frame, but that the successes in the businesses of starting my company, doing my LLCs, doing the Secretary of State's office, um, you know, getting donations, making up a nonprofit, all those little things that I did, having huge fundraisers that made us, you know, $30,000 in a night, $40,000 in a night, doing those types of things, showing that I had a track history of being able to produce and succeed on that level. That's what got me into law school. When I went to write bills, and I got legislators to write a bill for me with my information on that I asked for. You know, those are the things that the law school looked at, and they excused my 2.2 George Bush success level GPA, and knew that I wasn't going to be the top dog in the academics, and I probably wasn't going to be the writer of the law review or anything else along those lines, but that I was committed and I was focused, and that I have the history of doing that in my life over and over again, and that because of that history, when I pass the bar exam, I'm gonna be good at this too. And I believe that, and they took me, and I've spoken to many of the people that were on the board, and they took me because um, they knew that when I put my mind to it, and I dedicate myself, that I make it all happen, and that I was committed to this, and I was going to do whatever it takes for myself to be this difference in this community and changing the world.
Right. That's great. Um,
Thanks. Thanks, Sebastian. Appreciate that.
so you would say that commitment is really what drove it home.
I would say commitment is the thing that in my life in the past has been the biggest driving factor. Work ethic, like I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna give it my best effort. I'm gonna go for excellence at all times. I used to have perfection. I live in excellence now. Do my best all the time. And sometimes you're not perfect, and that's okay, but you give your best, and you do the best you possibly can every moment. And just knowing that you gave your all, that's the level of commitment you want to have. Like, I put every single thing into it that I could give. If you like books, David Goggins wrote a book, Can't Hurt Us. Can't Hurt Me, I think, one of those two. And he talks about his idea that, like, he was giving his best, but his best was like 60% of what he was capable of. And then when he realized that the pain and suffering, that limit that he felt, once he broke through that limit, that it reached into a whole nother realm of possibility. And that possibility then for space, like, you could handle that much more pain. You could handle that much more work. You could handle that much more responsibility. Your plate that you had, that you felt like was overwhelmed and overloaded, that was not serving you, turned into this platter. And now you got a platter that can then handle all of this and more. And that when you've leveled up to that level, then you take on more until you get to the point where you need even a bigger platter. And I think that's kind of a cool view on it. And to be able to go through that and use that in my work experience, just to keep leveling up, keep putting that effort. But the thing that I think is serving me the most right now, that I didn't see the value in when I was younger, is discipline. So commitment and discipline, but discipline right now is my my favorite. You know, being disciplined and doing the things that it takes day in and day out, even if it's not comfortable, to get the results you want to have. I've been sitting here at this desk. I was a realtor, playing sports, sales jobs. I'm out knocking on doors, doing things, sitting still at a desk for hours and hours, and reading and critically thinking in this one spot without a lot of stimuli has been a challenge for me. And one of the biggest things that I've done is to really focus on what's not been successful in the past to get me the results that I want, and what can I do differently than I've done to get that. And
Right.
so looking at like my bar prepping experience and what I've done in the past didn't get me the results I wanted, right? I didn't pass. I've taken it twice. I didn't pass. And so the first time I had my son half a time, and it was a whirlwind. I was not prepared for what I got myself into, and I did pass half the bar, which I felt pretty good about. But the multiple choice part, I didn't pass. And then second time, I did tons of studying. I was really close, 5 questions off, but I didn't sit at my desk and I didn't answer a bunch of questions, right? I didn't answer bar review question to bar review question. And what do you do on a bar question? You don't know because you didn't go that far in studying about the law, but you answer 200 questions in 6 hours, right? So you're sitting at a desk like we are right now for 6 hours, and we're not talking, we're not doing things. I am clicking on a screen, critically thinking about these words that are very pointed and very specific, and they give one answer, and then having that list below, and then going to the next one, and then going to the next one. And what I wasn't prepared to do in the past experiences that I had with studying for the bar was I wasn't prepared to do the work that it took to sit down at this desk, to get comfortable being right here, answering those questions, finding the joy and excitement and satisfaction from getting more right and getting more right and getting more right. So I was then prepared to do that. And I thought about what's one thing that I haven't done that if I did could make all the difference.
Right.
And that's what I thought about. And then the bar is a test of your ability to sit in a spot, critically think through a bunch of questions in rapid fire for a extended period of time. And what I wasn't prepared to do in the 2 tests before that was sit at my desk for an extended period of time, focusing on answering questions in succession over and over and over again. And now I'm doing that. And I'm gonna pass this time. February 21st, Sebastian, I'm passing. So I will let you know that I have successfully completed it. We won't know that I passed until like April 15th, but we're gonna know well before then that I passed, because I'm gonna do all the things to put myself in a place that when I show up there, I'm prepared and ready. And the 6 hours won't be hard, and the 200 questions, I'll know them, and I'll become a lawyer here in South Dakota.
Right. I'm rooting for
Yeah,
you.
buddy. Hell yeah, it's happening.
It's
So,
good.
and part of this one also was like, this gym this last year and stuff. We haven't spoken face to face or anything like that. But after I took the graduated from law school, I was like 205 pounds, 200 pounds. Through the summer, studying and being worn out for my son, and just doing all these things, doing way too much. I ate food, and I went to like 260, 255, and then about Halloween, Thanksgiving, I was like, man, I am in no spot. I need to get back into shape. And so it was Halloween, actually, because I was Dad Bod Thor last year for Halloween 2022. So I had the hoodie on and the big bear belly and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, and I was like, I don't want to have that for my life. That's what I want to do. And so I got disciplined in the gym of going at 5:30 in the morning every day. I was in the gym at 5:30 in the morning, and just sticking to that routine over and over and over again, eating food that, not nearly as exciting, but I eat taco meat and rice like 2 meals every day.
Dude.
I eat 100 grams of rice and 150 grams of taco meat 2 times a day. Like that's what it is. And but that discipline and that focus on what is my goal? Like, why am I doing this? My goal is to be strong, to build my body up so I can physically handle the requirements that I have to raise a 6-year-old kid, to be able to put in this work on the testing, and that discipline of staying with that on my dieting, my meal prepping, on my working out, and being committed to doing it day in and day out, that it's resulting in that discipline being more ingrained. And now when I don't go after a couple of days, I feel like I'm missing something. Like if I'm feeling antsy because I'm now not getting that thing that has been filled me up. And when I'm sad, there's nothing like going from being sad and and then going to the gym and pushing your body so freaking hard, crying but pushing your body into the point of physical exhaustion, like puking level as far as you can, what your 100% is, even though it's probably 60 or 40, but to your 100% right this moment and getting yourself there, wears your body out and you don't have the energy to be sad and depressed. But the key is I'm going to go do this. I know this is going to serve me, and I'm sad and depressed right now, and I'm going to step through that into this thing that I know is going to give me the results that I want to have. I want to get relief from this pain, and I want to build myself up to be stronger physically, mentally, spiritually. And my belief is that having discipline has been the best thing that I've ever received in this last year. And that discipline has propelled me into being able to do all these things that I'm doing and keep going, because I know that the prize at the end is what it's all about.
Right. So your learning discipline has caused you to be able to constantly improve, constantly try to get better, constantly try to learn more and be better.
I think the discipline has taught me that the best thing about the discipline that I've gained is that I now can overcome those feelings of worry and sadness and pain, and that I can choose into that focus on what it takes. Like, this is what I have to do now, or I get to do this right now because this is what's going to get me what I want. And I might be feeling all these emotions, I might be feeling all these things, but I get to put myself right here, get this done, and getting through this is what's going to alleviate the pain that I'm feeling. The pain won't come the pain won't go away if I just avoid it and don't do the things that I'm called to do. I'm going to have more pain. I'll cause myself more pain. And the discipline to be in that pain and feel that pain and that suffering and that hurt, that anxiety, whatever it is, and know that I'm going to go do this thing today because this is the thing that serves me every single day. And that's the discipline. And that keeps you in the motion of moving forward to having the life you want to have.
Right.
It's done it for me. And I'm exponentially better in this last year of my life with my discipline than I've ever been. And if I had been your age and I had learned discipline and applied it at the level I'm applying discipline in my life right now, to think of the man that I could be at this moment because of that level of commitment to ruthlessly going after whatever it is that I desire, and nothing being left to chance, because I am fully committed to doing every step every day, no matter my feelings, my tiredness, whatever. Those are circumstances, but I was committed to it and doing it, that I don't even know,
Right.
And it's one of the things that I've been teaching my son. We do discipline, we eat healthy majority of the time. And I do this stuff with him. We go and work out together. We play sports together. And I do these with him because I want him to learn that discipline now. We do our routine for brushing our teeth in the morning. We get up in the morning. We do the same stuff. And because I want my son, who's 6, almost 7, to have it. And that him having it is going to actually make him be so much better than I ever possibly could be. And I'm looking forward to giving him that gift, and then watching his life blossom because of that gift of discipline that he's going to have in his life that I didn't have as a kid. It was an important thing in my family. And it's one of the most important things here for us.
Right. That's a good center to have. So is there any advice for me and my age group on being successful and trying to build up that self-discipline, that work ethic?
Yeah. I think for a teenage boy and stuff, I think boys and girls have different experiences, and there's different things that happen. Boys mature later. Your value in your life is going to become from what you produce. The production you have, the amount that you can give to others is going to be the measure that people are going to have for your success in this world. And it's not going to be given to you because you're Sabastian Myers. You won't just get it. You got to earn it every step. And there's roadblocks, and you're going to have roadblocks, and everybody has different roadblocks, and you get to find a way to overcome them all. I don't know what your roadblocks are now, but you got your little plate, right? You've been doing it for 15 years. It's right here. And you're going to have moments where you're like, holy shit, I can't keep all this stuff, right? But you're keeping this, right? And you're going to learn to shimmy the hands out and catch a little bit more, right? And your plate's going to grow into that, and you're going to be able to handle all that. And then somebody's going to come and it's going to throw you off, and you're going to keep growing and keep getting bigger and better. And learning these qualities in yourself and how to do them, how to become disciplined, how to become committed, how to be focused, how to be a visionary, how to be a leader. Learning those skills in your life, spending the time to get those skills is going to serve you exponentially in anything that you choose to do. And having discipline and having commitment when you're having those hard times and stuff, and you're like, how the hell am I doing this? How am I going to survive this experience? I think we have a comment on here from a guy, Reese, and stuff, and he's struggling. He's here, right? He's shaking on this platter, trying to hold this whole thing up,
mm-hmm.
and it feels like it's too much. But you just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just stay focused on fixing the holes in the moments, holding it up, doing the best you can at this moment, and just keep getting better, keep leveling, keep adding more to that plate and making it bigger and doing the best you can. And that's going to get you what you want to have, discipline and commitment. I don't know what the heck I was doing without them, but I had commitment. I didn't have discipline. I think together they're a lethal combination. And if you are committed to something, your purpose that you have in your life, and staying focused on that purpose, don't swang it. Don't give up on your purpose for in the moment satisfaction. Being focused and visionary and staying on that and keep going towards it. If it's to be, you want to have 10% body fat, if you want to be 200 pounds, if you want to be an astronaut, like those are attainable things. And you can be an astronaut, but what does an astronaut do? And seeing that for yourself, you want to be a welder, right? You want to do underwater welding and make like $7,000 an hour or some crazy nonsense. That there are skills you get to have, right? You get to go to the YMCA and learn how to scuba dive, and get your PADI certification. You get to do those things, and so you get to like look at that and see what it is you want, and broadening your horizons and being open to what's possible, being in the moment, but still being visionary of what you want to have, and setting goals and knocking them out.
All right. Oh, I also wanted to ask you, what made you want to own your own business rather than, what made you keep wanting to own your own business and be your own boss rather than working for a company, being employed?
Good question. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more of a roller coaster because you're doing good and you're not, and things are up and things are down and everything's riding on you. It's an adrenaline rush. And you get to make it whatever it is, right? At the end of the day, you built all of it and you started it and you've taken it to the level that it becomes, and you have results at the end. And
Right.
It all is based on how hard you worked, how much you learned. There's some chance and some luck, and you get to use those things and then leverage your skills to keep growing and leveling up. And you just need to go for it, go for it all and leave nothing to chance and no regrets. Put yourself first, man. I think the most important thing, a lot of teenage boys chasing girls and that kind of stuff, wasting time on girls, I would highly recommend against it. Focus on your career, focus on who you want to be as a human. Do you want to be, really committed to the life you want to have, a real discipline and setting yourself up and doing all these things that move you forward and then doing them day in and day out? Do you want to be haphazard and distractible? What do you want for your life? And building those habits in yourself at a young age, so that way when you get to be 30, you've built a business, you have very firm foundation in your habits and your routines in your life, and then going out there at that point in time and using that to go out there and find the girl who wants to have a guy who's got all that stuff, who can be the leader that she's looking for, who wants to have that family. And you've had time to slow down and get focused and know exactly who you are, Like I would say that I'm a committed, focused, loving, and abundant man. And that's who I am. And you get to find that for you. And when you find that for yourself, and then you do everything in your life with that vision of who you are, you're going to be extremely successful. And that the things you choose into, if you do it through that lens, those things are going to serve you. And when they're not serving you, then you choose something different because you know who you are. And if something's not serving you, you let it go. And there's no shame. Man, it's hard. You're in that moment, right? You got a girlfriend, and you're like, this is fucking going nowhere. Like, why am I dating this girl, dude? She drives me nuts. She's bringing me down. I got to drive around my house, my block for like 25 minutes listening to music. I only know this because I've freaking done it. And you're miserable. And then you live your life suffering. But, you know, I had a choice. I could have left any time, right? But I chose to stay because suffering was the known and the unknown was being alone and having something better. And I gave that up. And so don't give that kind of stuff up, man. Choose yourself first, always, over every single thing. And do the things that are going to move your life forward to the man you want to be.
Oh, I understand.
Are we getting warnings? Are we getting warnings right now from Jesse? Are we crossing over time limits?
I don't think so.
Just giving a hard time.
No, he's not.
What do you think, Sebastian?
I actually walked in because I wanted to add something to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fail. I can't tell you how many times I've failed at things in life.
Yeah.
And I picked myself back up. You've been there when I've failed, Zach, many a times.
Yeah.
I've picked myself back up and I keep going. I keep striving. And that was the only thing I was wanting to add was.
I love that. Yeah, man. I mean, you just keep going. Just don't give up. You know, you only fail when you stop trying.
That is true.
If you keep trying, you're going to figure it out. Like you play video games. You play video games, Sebastian?
Somewhat. I mean, I've backed off a lot in the last couple weeks, but
there you go. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you're giving yourself some slack to still do it and choosing other things. If you want to know a book about discipline, and I would highly recommend this book. It's my favorite book right now. The book is called Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday. And I found that book last year, and I've listened to it now 3 times on audio tape, audiobooks, whatever, you know. Audio tape. God dang, no one's done that in like 30 years. And I would say that the impact that it's had on my life, it was like a lot of stoic and amazing leaders throughout time talking about how they've chosen to do the hard things in the moment and suffer through it. What's up, Alicia? And my Sebastian, I just said it to Alicia. She's my co-host on our show, the Non-Custodials Live. And we've been getting more official. We got a great show coming on tomorrow. Alicia's always there. And we got the Dadvocate coming on the show tomorrow. So giving a little cheap plug right now at the very end. The Dadvocate will be on tomorrow. Man, we had an amazing time with her in Seattle and St. Louis, and looking forward to doing it again here. Hopefully she's got a Christmas tree like this and we can just do all Christmas all day. So anyways, Sebastian, what was that question again?
What did I ask you?
I don't know. Yeah, dude, I don't know either.
I don't think I asked you a question.
I think, we're getting close to wrapping up and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think was the most impactful thing we talked about here in this last hour?
I think, you really stressed on the points of, building a work ethic, discipline, making sure that you're constantly improving, constantly trying to do more, put in 110%, not just 100%, and building, it's important when building a business that you make sure that it's what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your business and your life. Most important thing is your life, man. That's the number one thing. The business is just an extension.
Right.
It's what you do. Who you be as a man in your life, the qualities you choose into, you're going to be clean or dirty, right? And which one's going to serve you the most? You're going to pick one, and it's going to serve you regardless. But what's going to get you what you want? Are you going to be on time or are you going to be late? I used to always run on exact time. I was late all the time until I realized that I was hurting my image. I was hurting other people around me, and I was not living up by my commitments.
Right.
And once I learned that, then I was like, dang, wow. I'm not running on exact time anymore. Exact time is now on time, and on time is early. And having that revelation about it, and then stepping into that and living my life that way, it has made me a better man. And now I'm on time, and I think those are the little things. Picking out who you want to be. What if you're going to do something? What does it look like? Right. Am I going to be a man of my word, or am I going to lie to people and lie to myself? And every time you have a chance to speak, you get to choose one of those, and who you are is based on that choice of what you choose to do in that moment. Right. And you have a clean slate right now. You're 15. But you get to start right now, because you're going to be 18 really soon, and people are going to hold you accountable.
I understand.
Just simple as a fact. And so this is a chance for you to step into these things and build these skills, because these are the skills, like anybody who's in business, who's a leader, who's going to tell you how to do a great job at anything you do, they're going to tell you all these things. Anybody successful is going to tell you all these things, the same things that I'm saying today, because these are the tried and true skills that get you success.
Right.
And if you don't have these things, you're going to be on the head. So focus on just thinking about who you want to be. Like when I said my statement about my I am statement about myself, like think about who you are, and who do you want to be? Like, are you shy, and do you want to be outgoing? Right. And so then what quality would actually get you to be outgoing? If you really want to be outgoing, then tell yourself that you are that. Right. And tell yourself over and over again. And then when a choice comes up that you can either be outgoing or not and shy, you choose into the thing you want. Even if it feels uncomfortable, like, holy shit, I got to talk to this person. What do I say? Just say something.
Move out, right?
Get out of your own way. Damn right. So yeah, get out of your own way, man, and go for it, dude. You can do everything you want, man, and whatever it is you dream about, you can achieve all of it. You just gotta want it, and then ruthlessly go after whatever it takes to make that happen in your life.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you talking to me today, because like I said, I'm going around trying to learn about other people's experiences, the mistakes, what works, what doesn't work, and see how
what's
I can
next.
do that.
Yeah. You just said something really intuitive and extremely impactful in my life, and sky's the limit, my friend. Oh man, whatever you want, you can have it. I do a lot of my looking at my life and what I'm doing in my life by that measure of what worked, what didn't work, and what's next.
Right.
Looking at the things I did, and always with what I did first. Like you're gonna beat yourself up way more. You're gonna find 5 things that worked, but you could probably list off 50 things that didn't work, because those things are the ones that negatively impact you. Like you feel them, right? Oh, right. I said, I think I cussed 3 times in this interview. I said, I was thinking, I rolled my eyes up and looked away. Like, all those things, you're going to think of all those things, right? But what did I do good? What did I do right? And then what did I do wrong? So I can do better. And then how is this going to move me into the next step? And if you can look at your life by what worked, what didn't work, what's next, dude, you got it, bro.
Right.
You got it.
Yeah.
You're going to do great things, Sebastian. Whatever it is you want, man. I wish you all the best.
You too.
Thanks, buddy, man. It was a good time. Hey, Merry Christmas. Give the family some love. Go beat up on Jesse for me. So, and I look forward to seeing you here soon. I'm looking forward to coming out to Tennessee here in the near future. One of my best friends just got a place out there in, holy shit. I want to say it's like London, or it's like a name of a town from Europe or something like that. And it's in the hills. You guys, Tennessee is it's like a hillbilly country. He lives in the hillbilly country where you guys live. So he's not a city folk. He's a hillbilly dude. But anyways, man, it was a pleasure, Sebastian. Appreciate you. I wish you all the best, and
Appreciate you too.
I'm here for you. I'll give you my number, but I'm here for you anytime you need me.
Okay, thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Have a good day.